everybody, welcome back to my channel. Great to have you here. Today we're diving into the fascinating intersection of creativity, science and spirituality. It's about recognizing our inherent ability to shape reality by understanding the energetic patterns and blueprints that govern our world. So let's explore how we can harness this creative power to transform our lives. So in a world that really is driven by creativity and innovation, because nature is one of the most powerful creative and innovative forces that there is, understanding our own power to create really is essential for building the life that we want to see. Each of us has the capacity to shape our reality, drawing upon a sort of deep well of inner wisdom and universal energy. Now, at the core of this power lies our ability to discern and work with patterns. Patterns are a fundamental structure underpinning everything from nature's intricate designs to our own daily routines. We have patterns of thought, patterns of behavior, and everything comes from these energetic patterns. So natural patterns, for instance, include things like cycles of the seasons, moon phases, how plant growth occurs, how leaves unfold. Now, observing these and honouring these rhythms and patterns, it really helps us synchronize our actions with the world around us and how things naturally evolve. And then we have personal patterns. We have our habits, our thoughts, and our emotions, and they form patterns influencing our behavior and obviously then the outcomes that we get. And recognizing this allows us to make conscious choices that align with our true desires. And I would say that when we have patterns, they are visible in our energetic field. Our aura has patterns within it. I can see patterns of thought floating around people. Particular images may circulate around them again and again and again as they keep thinking the same things over again. There are patterns within our chakras, sort of kaleidoscopic patterns that unfold. And sometimes those patterns are synchronous and in harmony, and other times the pattern is discordant, and those are all clues that we're not living to our sort of own pattern, the pattern of our own lives, the pattern of our own soul, what we came here to do. So how do we get good at purposeful creation? Well, setting clear intentions is crucial. When our intentions align with life's patterns, they guide our actions and our decisions, and they help us manifest our goals with much more ease and efficiency. So, within every plant, within every seed is held the energetic pattern of how that plant is going to grow. So the seeds of our ideas and our goals already have an energetic blueprint or pattern as to how that goal is going to unfold for perfect fulfillment. Our role is to tune into these patterns and increase our capacity to do the things that we need to do for that energetic blueprint to fulfill its purpose. If I shy away from learning the skills that I need to learn to do something, or if I shy away from working on my mindset and my emotions that are creating too big a gap between what I want and where I am, then that thing can't come to fulfillment. So for a geomancer like I am, we work with all sorts of energy patterns. We work with the auspicious energy of place, because all life forms that live in that place are inherent in its energetic patterns, and that includes us, because we are a part of that energy pattern. And then if we come down another layer, we have our own energy with our own energy patterns in. So we can look at the macro scale and the micro scale. So to harness our creative potential, we need to fully embrace our role as powerful pattern creators. We must cultivate a deep connection with our inner selves and the world around us, because the two work in synchronicity. And we are powerful pattern creators. It's usually, unfortunately, we create really powerful patterns unconsciously, and then we start living out our worst fears, our worst nightmares, because we invest so much energy in them, because often we're living in fear or we want to avoid this worst case scenario. And we really want to embrace the other patterns of what could it be if everything works out. And that really comes down to our energy. Obviously, there are outside factors involved, what sort of family we're born into in terms of resources, if there is a social class element, what kind of political system we're born into, whether it's capitalistic or whether it's socialist. All these things affect the outside resources available to us. But we have this deep resource within ourselves of energy. So how do we embrace as I say, our role as powerful pattern creators? Well, really, to start with, we must be mindful. We've got to live in mindful awareness. Practicing mindfulness helps us attune to these life patterns and the subtle energies influencing them. They might be patterns outside of ourselves, but also patterns within us. We need to be mindful of our own thinking and mindful of our own habits that we can keep playing out again and again and again, but actually they aren't serving us. So through mindfulness, we can observe that without judging ourselves too harshly or unnecessarily, and then we can make informed choices about how to change our behavior or our emotions. That changes our energetic pattern. It changes how our energetic pattern sits within the energy pattern of our family, of our society, of our home, of our work. They're all energetic patterns. And we can cultivate, secondly, we can cultivate an inner wisdom. We need to learn to trust our intuition and listen to our inner voice. We've got to tap into this wellspring of creativity and insight. This doesn't mean blindly following hunches and intuitions. We've got to look at them and say, what's this trying to tell me? It doesn't mean giving up analytical thought or critiquing these ideas to say what is possible, what can I actually achieve? Because otherwise we can fall victims to sort of blind fantasy, and we can actually sort of bypass. So we can say, oh, I had a vision that I need to disappear to Bali for 6 months, where actually all we're doing is trying to avoid the things that we've got to face here and now. Our relationship might be ending, or the job that we're in doesn't suit us, or we don't have the skills we need to upgrade and earn more money, so we're disappearing off. That's falling prey to our intuition. We're not critiquing it enough. Intuition and intellectual thought have to sit together. Too intellectual, and we miss out on this following our soul's path. Listening to our intuition too much and going off on flights of fancy without critiquing them means we're equally likely to not come together. So if we're like those two forces of these two polar opposites again, they're yin, they're yang, masculine, feminine, action taking, receptive. We can't sit in one without the other. We need to sit in both of them. And we also need to embrace change and be adaptable. So often when we're rigid, our patterns become rigid, our aura becomes rigid, chakras become stuck almost with their energy because we're not being adaptive and allowing change. Patterns are dynamic and ever changing. Nature is dynamic and ever changing. She didn't evolve and then stop. Nature is constantly evolving. It's a slow process, evolution, but it's there nonetheless. So we need to embrace our own evolution, our own changes in our own life, and embracing this sort of fluidity of who we are, who we think we are. We have core characteristics, but we're always learning, we're always changing, we're always adapting based on how we have experience. So embracing that fluidity allows us to adapt and innovate and discover new solutions and personal growth opportunities. So for instance, when we're working with earth energy, I teach people to work with earth energy quite concretely. We recreate things like round towers, stone circles, standing stones, all those kind of geomantic structures, because they are landscape energy, and we can harness that auspicious energy to create healthy homes, vibrant gardens, aligned workspaces, sustainable agriculture, and spiritual places that enable us to alter states of consciousness. But we have to learn sort of patterns in the energy field, and we have to learn what these features are so we can tap into that energy, create the right kind of structure that enables us to really maximize on that auspicious energy. So it's all about learning, changing, growing, and developing, and allowing ourselves to do that. So we really want to embrace really creating with power in our everyday life. Now, by integrating mindfulness, cultivating our inner wisdom, and embracing change and adaptability, Really, we can empower ourselves to create with intention and purpose, just as nature does. And sometimes we have to take risks, and sometimes it won't work. So if we imagine a plant, it grows up in the spring, and then it blossoms and it gets fertilized and it produces seeds, and it scatters those seeds on the ground. That's risky, letting go of those seeds. They could be eaten, they could be predated. Some of them will fall in places where that plant won't thrive next year, but nature takes those risks. And in the spring, that new growth, that seed has to meet the resistance, the growth of pushing its way through the seed kernel. Then it meets the resistance of the soil, where again it could be eaten. It pushes its way out into the sunlight. All this is risky, but nature does it all the time to grow more, to learn more, to develop more, and become stronger. And this is why there are so many lessons in nature. So, whether it's designing a fulfilling career or, working with earth energy to create a vibrant garden or nurture our relationships or contribute to our communities, our creative power is unlimited. And our creative power sits in harmony with landscape energy. Our aura draws in lots of energy from the landscape around us. It's a very dynamic process. Our aura is a dynamic interface where our inner world meets our outer world, and it interacts with landscape energy and the energy in our home and the energy with our family. So our creative power is actually really limitless. It's only limited by our imagination. So what I want to say is, imagine everything that you create has a draftsman's blueprint. And, if your blueprint might be to create some wonderful life, and you think, well, I don't know how to do that. That is that gap that has to be bridged between, is it your mindset that needs to be worked on to say, I can do this? Or is it your skill set? I don't know how to build this, so I need to go and learn a way to learn how to do it. But you've created that pattern, and altering your mindset or working on your mindset or upskilling yourself is what I mean by we have to increase our capacity to bring these blueprints to fulfillment. If I designed a house that I wanted to build myself, I would then have to go and work out, I need to go on a building course. I need to learn electrical wiring. I need to learn about plumbing. I need to learn about plastering, roofing. That would be where I would need to upskill myself if I was going to do it all myself. Or I have to hire other people in with those experts. But that is still me increasing my capacity. I have to earn enough to pay somebody else to do it. That is still us increasing our capacity. So those are very practical examples. But those are things that we work on. We have dreams, we have goals, we draw in energy. Are we in the right place at the right time to be achieving this? Yes, we always are. We can create whatever we want to. So as we navigate really life's complexities, realizing our own role as a powerful pattern creator transforms our approach to challenges and opportunities. By aligning with the energy patterns that we create and recognizing that they have a consciousness outside of ourselves. If you have an idea for a business, it has a consciousness that exists outside of you. Our home has a consciousness that exists outside of us. The landscape that we exist in has the spirit of place, a consciousness that exists outside of us. By aligning with those consciousnesses and the blueprints that they hold, and our own inner wisdom, recognizing how we sit within those patterns, we can really craft a life of intention and harmony and abundance. It really is about working with these auspicious energies that we have, and the auspicious energies in the landscape that can help us create fulfilling working lives, happy communities, all these things. It's all when we're in alignment with the natural resources available to us, the energetic patterns. So I invite you to really reflect upon the life's patterns that you may create. You've probably created patterns that you've really enjoyed. That might have been a successful career or great relationships or hobbies that you enjoyed. And I've no doubt that you have patterns in your life that you wish you could let go of. They might be habits or how you treat people or whatever, but all those things have an energetic pattern behind them. So I want you to consider your life's patterns and how to harness your creative power to shape your reality. Energy is you know, it's how things come into form. Energy is just before things come in form. So share your thoughts in the comments and let me know how you are really embracing your role as a powerful pattern creator, because you are one of the most powerful things out there. And if you found this video insightful, please share it with others who might benefit from discovering their own creative potential. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notifications bell for more content like this, and I will see you next time.